Alright, what is going on, guys? Today I'm going to be making another video, shocker, another unboxing, but it's on something, it's actually very similar to the last big thing that I made a video on. It's very similar in concept, but it's definitely probably a bit more rare, although weirdly there's more documentation for it on the internet, but I think that's just because it's been out for longer, so more people have known about it. Anyway, it came here in a absolutely gigantic package. And this is my new camera setup, so it's even too big for that. I was hoping that this would make type videos like this a little bit easier, but boxes like this, there's not really a whole lot I can do. So, I'll show you guys what I can. Also, I noticed in some of my other videos that there's some weird shakiness in the camera. That's just from the way that I have it set up and everything. I am planning on changing that pretty soon, so hopefully that should go away. I'm just sorry if that gets annoying. I know when editing it kind of bothered me, but... So this thing I bought from Japan using a website called Sendico. I mentioned this in my last video, but if you guys want to use my referral code, it's down in the description. I don't really think I get a whole lot from it. I think I just get like, you know, a couple cents for every order that you guys do, but... You know, it helps me out. If you guys enjoy the videos and you're looking at buying some things like this, why not? But anyway... Let me see if this will show up on camera at all. I actually have a few things in here. A few things that are not related, so I'll just kind of skip to what's for this video. It's a metal box! Okay, no. Let me switch. Okay, so as you can see, there's a few different things in here. Let me take this box down and actually pull out the main thing for this. Alright, so here's this absolute behemoth. Let me get it out of its plastic wrap, because you probably can't tell what it is from here. Alright, so this absolute unit right here is called a Super Prologue 21. And if you guys watched my video on the Wii U karaoke machine, this is very similar. Basically the same thing. But it's for the Sega Saturn, which is very interesting. And I have no clue if it works. The listing said that it did not. It got stuck on a load screen, which is a common thing with these. I was actually talking to a guy who owns like 2 or 3 of these, and he said that all you need is a SCSI terminator that goes on the back. And what do you know? I have one right here, which hopefully works. This one's not the one that originally came with it, but it seems to be the same type, so that's just what I'm hoping. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to first turn it on without this, and just kind of show what happens. And then I'm going to turn it on with this, and hopefully this fixes it, and hopefully it works. So we'll see. Let me just kind of plug everything in, get everything set up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I have my CRT turned on in the back there just as something to display it in case it does work. Pressing the power button. I might not have turned my thing on, so let me just check. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I was just freaking out because it wasn't working. I realized I had the power switch turned off. I forgot that there even was one. That kind of freaked me out a little bit. So there was a flash on the screen really quick, although nothing seemed to come up. It's just kind of on this load screen right now. I'll let it sit for a while. I'll see what happens. Kind of while it's doing its thing, I thought I'd kind of show off what's on the front here because I kind of forgot to do that in that other video. Oh, something is up on the screen. Hold on. There's something. I'm not sure what that means. Looks like it's running some type of check. Let's just leave it right like this. See what happens. Load 191. So anyway, while that's ticking down until something special happens on the screen, basically you just have this big fat power button right here. And this, which I assume is some type of IR receiver, but I'm not 100% sure. Got a red LED. This tray, there's actually like 2 little trays here. This one's for a disc to go in. I can actually grab a screwdriver and show you. Oh, something's happening. Alright, so on the screen right here, it's saying Prologue 21. And up here, it's saying something which I cannot read. Unfortunately, I've said this before, it's kind of hard for me to translate things because my phone is what I use to record. There isn't really like an easy way to see what that says right now. However, I'll just try pressing a button. Oh, just went away. I was going to just try pressing a button. Oh, look, it's working. Awesome. So it's coming right up on the screen. It basically just says Super Prologue 21 right there. And then there's a blue screen. So I'm pretty sure once it's on this screen, you should be able to choose a song. So you can see right there, 31001. So I believe these buttons on the front here, if I do 31001, you see if it comes up. I think that's how it works, I believe. I might have to press a button to... Oh, that's 9? Wait, what? That's a little weird. Yeah, so I think that's the button I need to press, although for whatever reason my 0 button is working as a 9. Might be an issue. Let's see what 31111 is, if that exists. I don't know why the 0 key is pressing 9. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Oh, now it's working. Okay. I just lifted it up a bit, so it must have been kind of stuck. 310. I thought it worked. Oh, okay, it's just finicky. I probably have to take this front panel off and like clean all these buttons because they seem to be kind of malfunctioning a bit. 3, 1. You just have to be very careful. It kind of just does what it wants. Okay, I think I got it to work. Yeah, okay, I did, finally. So yeah, it should just start playing whatever song that is. Let me grab my remote right here so I can turn up the audio. Okay, so it's working, but I'm getting no audio, so I'm probably just plugged into the wrong ports, because there's like 1,000 of them. So let me just mess around with that really quick. Okay, so there's audio, which is awesome. Let me turn this up. Not going to play it for too long, because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but whatever song this is that I chose is playing now. These probably control all of the different inputs, which, by the way, I can test now, because in my video on the other karaoke machine, I bought this. So let's plug it in and see what happens. Not getting anything through that. It's probably a separate jack. But I will definitely go through and just test everything in here eventually. I did not expect this thing to work just right out of the box like this, so I was not really prepared to go through it very thoroughly. I'm probably going to have to cut parts of this video and put them around so they make more sense, so I'm sorry if it's kind of all over the place. Alright, so basically I just thought I'd go through everything here and kind of show you what's on the front. So right here, this tray, let me actually open it up really quick. So weirdly, all of these are held in with like these little Torx bits, which I guess makes sense if this is going to be in a public place. You don't want people just like popping these open and taking discs out or whatever. I don't think they come out fully. I think it just loosens. Alright, so here we go. Just pops down. And here is our Sega Saturn disk drive. So it just kind of slides in there. A disc would go in and then turns back up and you screw it back into place. Now, this middle one here is the controls for the Sega Saturn. So let me just get this one open real quick. So this right here comes down, and it's going to be a little hard to see, but you basically just have... It's going to be a little hard to see, but basically you just have your 2 controller inputs, and then some different settings, which I'm not sure exactly what they do, but I'll get back to that once I actually mess around with the Saturn part of this. So basically right over here you have a ton of different dials and inputs for microphones. Basically each one of these controls the microphone underneath it. I believe this one is like a master volume, but I have to mess with that. I'm not 100% sure. You then have your echo. It toggles it right here. You have a button that lets you choose effects, your guide melody, and then in this little screen right here, it'll tell you what setting that's on. I believe these also mess with the echo level, and then these top 2 buttons mess with the tempo of the music that's playing, or like the pitch, tempo, all of that. These buttons right here in the middle is what you use to choose a song, so a code will come up on the screen, you press like 31102, and then it would come up. This is the OK button, so you press that. And then all of these buttons up here are basically to control different things, so I believe this has to do with like pitch or something. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that is a music symbol. I didn't pay attention to my music class. So right here you have cancel, stop, and start, I believe. Or sorry, I have these switched. This is start, this is stop. And then over on this side, there are buttons that translate to booking confirmation, change, and interrupt. Not sure exactly what that means, what each of those actually do in the software, but to anyone that's messed with karaoke machines, that probably has more meaning to them. And then there's this big fat power button right here, which turns the whole thing on. And then on the back here, we have just like 100 different inputs and outputs and things like that. So I can't really go over all of them. I'll kind of go over the ones that I know of. Basically, this is where video comes out and audio comes out right here. That's all I really know. Or one of these. They all probably output audio, but there's different things. I will throw a picture up on the screen right now with this ran through Google Translate. It's just going to take me forever to figure all of these out myself. And realistically, all I really need is this and that, so oh well. Then there's also this power switch right here, which is behind this little cover, which is kind of cool, but you just flip that to turn it on. Here are all the connectors for different accessories. There's these 2 SCSI connectors. That's probably another one there, and then then there's some other little thing here. This port down here is actually where this Terminator plugs in. However, I'm going to try this without it first and just see what happens, because I was told by a guy who owns like 3 of these that I need one of these, and that's why a lot of these units don't work. However, I saw some YouTube videos of people using theirs without any, so I don't know. This also looks like it's an RGB output, and that looks like S-video, so that's really cool. I'm just using composite for now, but if that is actually what that is, awesome. Okay, so I asked my guy Sega Steve, shout out to him by the way, he has a channel, I'll link it down in the description. Super cool guy, he's like the Sega Saturn dude. Anyway, he told me that on this door right here, it's the left button on the bottom here that switches it into Saturn mode. So let's see, we got a blank screen with the Super Prologue. Yep, it says Sega. Hey, so here we are in the Saturn menu. So grabbed my my trusty Model 1 Saturn controller, and yep, everything's working there. So let me just set it to current day. I doubt these developers ever thought that they'd see 2024 on this. Yeah, you can see how far in the past it was when I made this video. Here we got the Japanese Sega Saturn screen right there. So let me try a game. I actually ordered 2 games in this parcel specifically for this. So here's the first one. It's Street Fighter Collection, just because the North American copy of this is like $1,000. Not really, it's like $250, but I don't have that kind of money. And then this one right here, kind of similar. Got Pocket Fighter. So you could tell I like my Capcom fighting games. Got both of these. I don't know what the discs are like on them. I'll take a look in a second. Let me just get this tray opened up so I could put a disc in. Disc looks pretty good. I don't see any noticeable scratches or anything. So let me actually just dust this off really quick because the actual tray is pretty dirty. Alright, so that looks slightly better. Let's put a disc in here. Pop the tray in. And just hope for the best. I'm just going to leave that like that. So it should come up like a normal Saturn where it just says Start Application. If it even realized there's a disc in there. I don't know if you have to put this latch up for it to start reading. So it doesn't look like I'm getting anything right now. Let me actually clean this laser off a little bit, because I have had an issue with some of my other consoles where the laser couldn't tell that there was a disc in there. So let me just check that really quick. Alright, clean that off with a little bit of IPA. Put that back in and see what happens. So unfortunately, it looks like the text that comes up at the top of the screen says no CD. Basically means it can't read one. What I'll do is I'll try my other disc just in case it's something with this. I'll also try cleaning it a little bit more. I know the lasers going out is pretty common on these, but I really want this thing to work, so I'm going to mess around with it a bit. So, unfortunately, unless these 2 discs happen to both be bad, which I doubt, I don't think the disk drive in this works, which is very unfortunate because that's in my opinion, the coolest part. Basically, it just sits here, it says reading disk, and then the one that pops up right after says no disk inserted. Alright, so I'm here with the Prologue 21 opened up. I've got the top cover taken off. It was just like 8 screws, I think. It's all these over here. You know, looks like I just got to take this board, this hard drive, and that little metal bracket underneath off. Then I should be able to get to that disk drive down there. I actually got 2 lasers. I don't know why they sent me 2 of them, but they did. So that's nice. So I guess let's start disassembling. Trying to figure out what the best way to go about this is. It looks like this whole bracket might just come off if I unscrew these. I have absolutely no tutorial. I don't think there is one online, so I'm kind of just winging it. So far, I did find a little guy right here that I picked up, so hopefully there's no more. Okay, so it looks like that's just held in with these 2 screws back here. So, looks like after I disconnect everything, that should just pop right out. So let's get this like big, like IDE looking cable, Molex. Oh no, looks like we're held in with these 2 here. Alright, so it looks like I got it. Should now just come right off. There we go, that looks pretty good. No signs of life so far, which is good. Looks like there's just a plastic piece that comes off here. Still looking good. Sorry if I'm not showing this like super great on camera. I'm trying to take it apart and film it at the same time, and while I do not know what I'm doing. Now I just need to get this bracket out. It looks like I can keep this in place, which is good. I believe that's the power supply, and I really don't want to like deal with that and touch any of it. I'd rather not, so if I could just stick to this, that would be great. I'd like to disassemble the bare minimum. I'm hoping I'll be able to access this without having to take this front panel off. I have no clue what the process for that looks like. It's either going to be really easy or really difficult. Hopefully, I don't have to do it at all. Okay, disk drive is out. It's still connected by this one little connector on the power supply, but everything else is out. I really don't want to mess with that. That's the thing, like, I don't want to touch anything power supply related because I did plug this in somewhat recently, and I'd rather not die. Here we have the entire unit with the disk drive inside. Kind of see it right there. Alright, so that might have to work. Basically, I just need to unscrew this thing from here, however that happens. Okay, so maybe this will work. I just need something to set this on while I unscrew everything. Okay, so I got the laser removed from the housing. I don't know if I'll be able to get it back in, but that's kind of future me's problem. So now let's take this apart and see what we can do. Something that I did notice is that these are actually a little bit different. The old one is like missing a piece of plastic right here. That one has it, so I might just have to transfer this plastic piece over. Alright, so it looks like that kind of just clips right in. There we go, that should just fit right in there like the old one. So let's see if that just works. Hopefully it does. Okay, so I got it put back together. It was a little sketchy, so I had to pause because I was probably doing stuff wrong. And I just realized I forgot a piece, so I will have to open it back up, unfortunately. However, it's together enough for me to figure out if the laser works, which is kind of important before I put everything back together. So let's turn the CRT on. Okay, so I didn't break anything. We're in the song selection menu. Let's see if it can load a Saturn game. I really hope it does. Let me find a controller. Okay, so I kind of have some like open heart surgery going on right here. I have the disk drive and everything pulled out separately so I can mess with it. So right here, these are the two new lasers that I ordered. I only ordered one. They sent me two for some reason. And they're both dead. I've tried everything. The laser, I've like kind of looked through the camera and it's super dim. And I can't get it to read anything, detect a disc, no matter what. Nothing. I did take the little anti-static solder point off. So these are basically junk, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to get a return for these because they were kind of a little expensive. However, while I had this taken apart, I thought might as well just mess with the old laser and see if I can get something to work. And I think I might have got it. So just in case anyone has one of these and wants to mess with it, this is a very temporary solution because adjusting these potentiometers basically just slightly prolongs the life of these lasers. They'll still wear back down, probably a lot faster than they originally did, and stop working again. But anyway, right under here you see there's this little screw-looking thing. It's not going to focus, but you can kind of see it there. Yeah, it really doesn't want to focus on that. There's a little screw right here. If you take this and you just turn it ever so slightly, I just moved it like maybe 2 degrees counterclockwise, tested it, moved it a little counterclockwise, tested it, just kept doing that until it finally worked. So let me turn this thing on, which is going to take like an hour because this thing is very inconvenient, and then I'll show you guys it working. So when it turns on, it tries spitting up this disc. I'm not sure 100% why, because it's not even in the Saturn mode, but it's possible that maybe you can put like software updates or some weird karaoke specific stuff on this disc here, in this disk drive here, and it'll actually read it in the normal software. I'm not 100% sure, but right now I'm just going through that like hour-long startup process. I don't have my capture card hooked up for this. I'm not really going to show a whole lot. I'm just basically going to show that it works. It's going to take a little bit while it loads, so I'll be right back. Alright, so just finished going through that whole process where it just has to like load everything. Has to load like 200 different, I don't know if they're songs or what it's doing, but it takes forever. Just finished that. Now it's just got to go through the normal Prologue 21 loading. This thing is very inconvenient because you have to go through all of this just to get to the Saturn menu. But here we go. We got the Sega Prologue splash screen right up there. Alright, so then I press the button. I think I showed it off before. There's a button down here that puts it into Saturn mode. So it's just going to ask me for a date because that clock battery that most Saturns have. I don't know if this one even has one. If it does, it's dead. I just don't know where it is. I haven't done a full teardown. Yeah, you see there's the Saturn startup. And because the disc is in here, it should just start right up as long as it reads it correctly. Yep, there it goes. So, it's working mostly. It's very clear that this laser's kind of on its way out because loading times are pretty rough. And it just skipped a couple times right there, so yeah. It is not working very well. All FMVs are really choppy, audio skips, things like that. Load times are bad. I could probably adjust the laser a little bit more, but I'm just kind of afraid to overdo it and then kill this thing, so I'll probably just keep it how it is because it at least works. So I did actually order another laser for this. I'm returning the other two, and then I ordered one off an eBay seller. The two that I got were from AliExpress, so I'm hoping on eBay I get a little bit more lucky. So we'll see. If that one comes in and works and everything, I'll just install that. I'll probably add a little bit onto this video, because I still have to reassemble the whole thing. But at least for now, you can see loading up Street Fighter 2 right here off the Street Fighter Collection disc that I have. So right there. Let's just play a really quick game. Anyway, like I said, I will continue this video once I get that other laser in. Hopefully it works. If it does, then awesome, and I'll probably show it off a little bit more, probably with a capture card. And if not, then I'll probably just do a reassembly. But yeah, anyway, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me out a ton. Like I said in the beginning, my Sendico referral link is down in the description, and also so is Sega Steve's YouTube. So check all of that out. Shout out to Sega Steve one more time. But yeah, I guess I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.